why don't like more couples mutually part ways? Yeah, you remember Cindy? Yeah, Cindy, the one I went on vacation with. We mutually parted ways. Put Vaseline all over your body, all over your body. What the hell he say? Gonna write that one down.
And then there were 14, 12 to play this weekend. And I swear, in the immortal words of Jay-Z, it's about to go down. But suited and booted, I feel underdressed, Nate Burleson. What is going on?
What's up, baby? So fresh and so clean. You got me in the office today, so I'm fresh off the set. Literally just left the studio, but we have to get this in before the weekend's game starts. So I'm excited, man. We got some storylines, Tim.
And listen, I want to get to Super Wildcard Weekend, but it's not often that the greatest to do it in the pros and college leave their jobs on consecutive days. Like, let's start in the pros. I say Bill Belichick. What comes to your mind?
Legacy, tradition, and dynasty. And then the last thing is what we're all thinking, the greatest coach of all time. Now, that's just what comes to mind right now. Mm-hmm. As a football fan, let me put that hat on.
Okay.
I think wherever he lands, if he gets a big-time QB, I think we'll be talking about Bill Belichick in the playoffs in 2024. Like, we're like, as soon as 2024, 2025 hits, we'll be talking about whoever Bill Belichick is coaching making it to the postseason.
Okay, he's 71. Saban and Carroll walked away at 72. I know we were already hearing like Atlanta being a position that he might land. You're asking for a legit quarterback. I don't know if that's there just yet, but whatever.
What about Justin Herbert and the Chargers?
Yeah, that could. So you think at 71 he can still get the job done?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe that Bill Belichick can go elsewhere with a talented roster, not a rebuilt roster or a team that is rebuilding. That's the problem he faced with this squad and the Patriots. I believe if he goes somewhere right now, he'll be able to adjust to the talent. You know, I was talking with Phil Simms. We were on set, and we were all talking about Bill Belichick, and he says something that we don't talk about often enough. He said, you think about his teams, the amount of talent that he has had over the course of a couple of decades. Mm-hmm. It hasn't been the same type of talent. He's had everything from high-flying offenses, Randy Moss scoring 20-plus TDs in a season, to the quick, small wide receivers, the Edelmans and the Troy Browns, Deion Branches, Wes Welkers. He's had that kind of nickel and dime, big shot creative offenses. Mm-hmm. And then he's also had hardcore running teams, all the while anchored by a defense that's built to beat you up. Yeah. So Bill Belichick can literally go anywhere depending on the talent and who he brings in and build a team based on what that team needs to be. So I think Bill Belichick is fine, and he still got it. He still has the energy. You can see it in his eyes. Now, he might not show it with his disposition and his body language, but you can see it in his eyes. I know we're not talking about Pete Carroll, but you can see it in Pete Carroll's eyes. Nick Saban, he even talked about it. That glimmer is going a little bit. And there was times where he was talking, whether it was post-game or just a press conference about college football in general, it just seemed like he was tired. You know what I mean? And as much as Bill Belichick can sometimes act as this curmudgeon, I just feel like he still loves the game a lot and he's not ready to walk away.
Yeah, he'll always love the game. But when you say glimmer in the eyes, I'm like, are we talking about the same dude? Like, I don't know. I ever seen a glimmer in his eye. I see rage in his eye.
I think I got glimmer confused with scowl, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
And focus. No, I know what you're saying. Passion for the game. Still got the passion. Listen, we're here to talk about ideas. And if you're new to this, we're almost always respectful. Now, there are certain cases where a little disrespect is needed, but 98% of the time, our conversations are meant to be that conversations and fire away those thoughts that you have in the comments. We want that too. I go all that way to simply say in 4 seasons since Tom Brady left, the Patriots had 1 season and 0 playoff wins. Tommy Boy played 3 seasons from ages 43 to 45, won the Super Bowl, went 32-18, threw for almost 15,000 yards, 108 touchdowns, not including. Do we play the game of what happened after the separation, Nate Burleson, or is that unfair given the 6 they got together?
It's fair, bro. It's all fair in love and sports. We can ask this question 1,000 different ways, and it's okay. It's fine to say who made who. It's okay to say, was it Tom Brady or was it Bill Belichick? And it's fine for somebody to jump in off the top ropes and say it was both of them. It's okay to say before he had the host of players, and let's be clear, he didn't take a bunch of nobodies and make them household names. He had some absolute legends that were on those rosters, some Hall of Famers that were on those rosters. Yeah, Tom Brady, late round draft pick, came out of nowhere, shocked the world, and became the GOAT. And he had a few guys like that we knew because they played for the Patriots and how the Patriots used them. But I feel like if you're going to look at the recent years, of course, recency bias tells us that Tom was able to leave and play well. Now, he also had a really good coach, one of the best ever. He had a fantastic defense. And let's not sleep on his wide receivers. Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And he had a bunch of young dudes that were dogs. So it's not like Tom went somewhere and took a garbage team and turned them around in a year. Tom was very strategic in the place that exactly. Yeah. So I think it's okay to ask that question, though. And it's fair. It's fair to say there's two things we're asking all in this moment. Is Bill Belichick done with the Patriots because Tom Brady left and he can no longer take this group and make them relevant or even a contender for the playoffs? And then follow that up with, now let's look back at those years. Was it Bill Belichick constantly challenging Tom Brady and making him feel like he's not enough, and then having that chip on Tom's shoulder, propelling him to become the GOAT? Is that what happened? Or was it Tom really just saying, I'm the best thing that ever happened to you, this team, to Mr. Kraft, and as long as you build around me, we'll continue to win because I got ice in my veins and nobody plays the quarterback position like me? Those are fair questions. You can even take that to Nick Saban. I think we've even talked about this earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
Is Nick Saban the greatest coach of all time when it comes to college football? Sure. Yeah, you can give him that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But can we also ask, is part of the reason, not all of the reason, but part of the reason that Nick Saban is walking away, is it because college football is more evenly balanced more now than ever? Is it because now there's NIL deals and the transfer portal is open? Is it because that now Alabama can't funnel in all of these 5-stars to their school? Is it now that there's so many different players from ages 19 to 25 jumping ship and going to different schools that you can't take a 18-year-old, build him for 3 years, and then tell him you'll be a starter for Alabama as a junior and a senior, and I can almost guarantee that you'll have a shot to play in the league? That's not the case for Alabama no more. Did Nick Saban look predictably down the line and say, shoot, I could be on the outside looking in of these college championship games in the near future? Maybe it's time to just relax and sit high on this throne because I am the king of coaching when it comes to college football. These are all fair questions.
Yeah.
Listen, we can praise these guys over and over again for decades. It's okay to have these questions when they retire and walk away, or they get fired, or amicably split with their organizations.
Yeah, I like mutually parted ways. It's such a nice term.
Mutually, yeah, it is.
Mutually parted ways.
Why don't like more couples mutually part ways? Now, I know celebrities do it because they're like, respect our privacy. They don't want to dig in. But have you ever had like your homeboy, like Craig, and Craig was like, you remember Cindy? Yeah, Cindy, the one I went on vacation with. We mutually parted ways. That doesn't happen with regular folks.
No, it doesn't happen. No, it's this world of PR. And listen, I love the I wanted to hate Nick Saban because I thought there was an arrogance when he first, I don't know if it was Michigan State, I don't know if it was, another stop along the way, or if it was Alabama. I was just like, there's an arrogance here. And then I started listening to the man, and there's a lot of wisdom locked in there.
For sure.
Like I don't think that this guy, like, everything to me that he does is very calculated. So I wouldn't listen, he's also 71, but what you're saying is all true. The world of college football has changed mightily. And I don't know if I don't know if we'll ever see another Nick Saban, even though we always say that. And there always seems to be another. I always love, we're not going to talk about what we're going to accomplish. We're going to talk about how we're going to do it. Nick Saban, love it. Love it.
That's tough. That's tough.
All right, they're Super Wild Card weekend. We only got about 20 minutes total for this whole thing, so let's keep it tight. There are 4 things I feel like we need to get to: the reeling Eagles, the pressure on the Cowboys, the multiple personalities of the Buffalo Bills, and frigid football. Frigid football. I know you just talked to the Weather Network, so we're going to get to it. Let's start with what seemed like the sexiest matchup of the week. Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins going to KC to face the Chiefs. Expected high, and I know that you just did something with the Weather Network, so maybe you know, a 6 Fahrenheit and a low of -5, which is -21 Celsius for the Canucks watching this bad boy. Like, this could be one of the coldest games ever. Did you ever play in frigid temperatures? And what did you learn from the Weather Network?
Not like that. I didn't play in any conditions like that. I remember playing in Denver and it was 6 degrees, real feel, below zero, and it was cold as hell. And when I tell you, we tried everything when we were in the locker room. And it's funny, when you're in the locker room, everybody has something to say. And we all come from all corners of the map. And it's usually stuff passed down from like your ancestors. One dude's in the corner is like, hey, put chili powder in your shoes. Another dude's like, hey, man, put a little hot sauce under your tongue. Somebody's like, sip beef broth during halftime. It's like, bro, relax. Everybody chill out. Put Vaseline all over your body, all over your body. Another person's like, you know, put some hospital gloves underneath your rear. I'm like, bro, y'all gotta chill. What really works? And to be honest, it was so cold, none of it works.
None of it works.
Like, you just got to be built for it. The sideline helps, the heaters help, and the heat on the benches help. But bro, it's really about toughness. You know, forget about toughness like two guys clashing into each other and creating a violent hit. Real toughness is when these conditions show up and there's dudes on the field that are built for it, and then you'll see the other guys who are really just like losing to the weather.
Yeah, you know, every O lineman tries to go sleeveless just to prove how tough they are.
That's a fact. You know, it's crazy. You know, we keep everything real here. You know what I mean? You're my brother. You know what I'm saying? From a different mother. And there is one thing that I feel like is uniformed across the league, and that is on a grand scale.
Yeah.
White dudes really don't care about the cold weather. Like, I don't know what it is about y'all. Now, I know we are tropical people, but like, listen, we be getting ready for the game. Black dudes be bundled up. We have everything on. We be sitting there putting everything in our locker on. The white dude just be over there chilling. He got a single pair of socks. He might have some church socks on, thin as paper. And he gonna go out there, no sleeves, and not even be cold. But no,
the Viking dude walking out in the shorts. You're just like, what are you doing? Like, what are we trying to prove here? I know we watched the show, Jon Snow, King of the North, whatever the hell you want to be. I ain't built like that. When I played in the cold, dude, there was Under Armour. There was the sweater over the Under Armour. Like, as a receiver, the hands, like, it feels like you're like the
hands, bro. Like, my digits go numb and it's over. But you bring up something that we are going to have to talk about. The Miami Dolphins, Kansas City. That's 8 p.m., bro. That's nighttime. So third and fourth quarter, it's going to be frigid. The kicking game, we're talking field goals and punts, and then also how these guys protect the ball when that ball feels like a brick, your digits are numb, and guys are hammering down on it. It's really going to make an impact on the game.
I want Tua to wear isotoners. I know that's like a 35-year-old reference, but like, I want to. Can we play the commercial of Dan Marino and the isotoner gloves?
Oh, classic.
Isotoner gloves. Get that guy a pair of gloves. He'll freeze out there.
Classic.
All right. So how do you feel like this affects what otherwise would have been like the Dolphins can't beat good teams and the Chiefs offense doesn't look like it did a year ago?
I think this is going to come down to who can run the ball. And we've seen Kansas City do it a little bit this season, especially with a little bit of the inconsistency at the wide receiver position, some of those drops. The Miami Dolphins, they had some injuries. We saw Mostert get banged up at the end of the year. Achane come back. But if you can run the ball in this game and then just use the intermediate pass routes to move the ball down the field, I believe you're going to win it. And it's all about protecting the ball. Here's the X factor. I mentioned like a little bit of the kicking game. Special teams will play a role. I don't know if it's a fumble snap or a punt block or a punter that's just knocking the ball down the field and really turning over the field in the best way possible to put their defense in the best position. I just feel like that variable in games like this come into play.
I'm going to put the previous. We'll get it on the screen.
Okay.
Actually, it's coming on the screen right now. This is in the editing, wonderful thing, magic of television. The previous 4 games, or the previous coldest games in NFL playoff history, I believe the average was about 33 points per game, around 33.5 points per game, but we'll throw it up here.
Jeez.
So that's interesting when you talk about what we're going to see between two offensive-minded teams, though I will say the Chiefs defense has become very good over the last little while, and I feel like they don't get enough love. All right, Eagles once 10-1. Speaking of not getting any love, now limping into their wild card matchup in Tampa. It'll be warmer there. Losers of 5 of 6, including an ass whooping from the Giants to close it out. I heard a hot take from someone that I like that said a couple weeks ago, Jalen Hurts is overrated, and now he's banged up too. What's your thought on the Eagles?
Jalen Hurts is not overrated. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the business. And like I've talked about with the resident quarterbacks I work with on Sundays, Boomer and Phil, even great quarterbacks are off for a week or two. And that's okay. Now that he's in the postseason, the only thing that will stop him from being as good as he was last postseason is an injury. I don't care about the regular season. Yeah, they don't have the same type of rhythm. Yeah, I truly do believe that they are missing the play calling from their offensive coordinator a year ago. The rhythm is not the same. They don't have the same type of consistency and threat when they're running those RPOs. Last season, the RPOs was dangerous for Philly, and they pump fear into defenses they face. They don't have that same type of energy. But that finger is troubling, though. When you're talking about his throwing hand, this is the playoffs. A.J. Brown got banged up in that game. Like, that's the main concern. It's not about him playing good football. He's still one of the best QBs. It's about that hand. And forget about throwing. What if they call the tush push? Or he has to scramble because the receivers are being locked up and he doesn't slide in time. And he takes a shoulder pad or elbow or a helmet on that hand. That changes everything, man.
Tampa got a shot.
Yeah. I have Tampa winning this game.
Say what?
All right, right down, Tampa winning. I like that.
You're like, hold on, what the hell he say?
No, listen. That's this isn't the same team. I don't know how Nick Sirianni snaps his fingers and changes it all. And we're gonna get into that. I want to do a little superstat meaningless number, but I also want to believe in the Bills as a legit favorite in the AFC. Is this as easy as which Josh Allen shows up for Buffalo?
Yeah, 100%. Wow. This is the Josh that can take care of the ball, that when the play breaks down, he scrambles for the first down. No more, though. You don't need to run anybody over. You don't need to fight for extra yards. You don't need to do anything to get the crowd hyped up. Just do what you need to do to move the ball down the field. Everything else, you can live to play another down. Like, I think Josh's worst enemy is the fact that he's so damn talented. And when you are that talented, you realize when the play breaks down, because we've seen it before, I can make a play, whether it's with my arm or my legs. We've seen him throw. I've seen him throw bullets this year and windows that even after the instant replay was ran a few times, I'm like, why the hell did he throw that? That's because he realized I can get it in between that small window before those two DBs get to the ball and my wide receiver will catch it and score a touchdown. That's Josh. But it's also Josh when there's nothing there. So I think Josh needs to know when there's nothing there, there's still another drive once you get the ball back. And it really is up to Josh. It 100% is.
In 11 wins this season, 9 turnovers. In 6 losses this season, 13 turnovers from Josh Allen alone. Last one I really wanted to get to was the pressure on the Cowboys. They couldn't have asked for things to go better over the last couple of weeks. Pretty favorable matchup. Are the boys the team with the most pressure on it?
Yeah, because you look at the sideline, coaching staff starting with McCarthy, and then also Dak Prescott. Dak's fine. Had a really good regular season, MVP conversation, played really well. But he hasn't had his moment yet. Now, let's just say the Cowboys, they stumble in the fourth quarter and lose the game in a close one. And Dak Prescott had a play or two where he could have made a different decision. You know what we're all going to say. Oh, Dak's good in the regular season, but when it's time to be clutch, he hasn't shown us yet. I just hope that he can put that to rest by making big plays in the moments that matter the most. It's still going to be a difficult task, though. I mean, you have a young Green Bay Packers team, a quarterback that's going out there and playing well. Jordan Love has now solidified himself as the QB for the future for the Packers. And there's a little bit of that, like, is the NFL scripted storylines where there's something for every team, like a guy, a coach, a player that used to be where you are. Like, this is all big time storylines that we love to talk about. And I know that Green Bay is coming. What do they have to lose? They already shocked the world, right? Aaron Rodgers left. Jordan Love is your QB. You made it to the playoffs. They're going to go out there and leave it all on the table. I just hope that Dak Prescott can stay mistake-free and play consistent for 4 quarters and then walk away with a win. If not, credit to the Green Bay Packers, and they'll be the ones that I pat on the back afterwards.
Can't wait to do the Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur breakup like we did Brady and Belichick. No, I don't know we're there yet, but I can't wait to do it. Listen, we're running out of time, and I got to do a little rapid fire to close it out.
Yeah, for sure.
And since we all know that stats are like Cardi B videos, they show a lot, but they don't show everything. We got a little game, super stat, meaningless number. I give you a stat from each game, Nate, and you tell me if that's a super stat or a meaningless number with a bit of an explainer. We good?
Okay, we're good.
Right. We're good. We're starting the AFC Saturday. Super stat or meaningless number. The age difference in days between Joe Flacco and CJ Stroud is 6,104 days. 5th largest gap between starters in NFL postseason history. Super stat or meaningless number?
That's a super stat. Because Joe Flacco, he's been there, he's done that, he's seasoned. Like, Joe Flacco cares, but doesn't care, if that makes sense. Like, he cares about the moment because this is all fresh and new to him. He hasn't been in this position a long time, but he's been in this so long. None of the bright lights are going to bother him. And if that can translate to this young team, and watch out for the Browns, man. Now on the flip side, CJ, it's a young pup, man. Play big this year, but the playoffs is different, Tim.
Oh, speaking of that, super stat, meaningless number, Tua Tagovailoa is making his NFL playoff debut. 51 regular season starts, start number 1 in the playoffs. I'm guessing you're saying that's a super stat.
Nope, that's meaningless. You know why it is? Because he played in big games in college. And now if we're talking about a conference championship. You're right. You're right. Oh, you're right. Okay, all right. But what I'm saying is, if we're talking the conference championship, but this is just the Super Wild Card weekend. I don't think the stakes are going to feel as high as some of the games he played in college.
All right, super stat, meaningless number. Steelers, Bills, TJ Watt out, knee injury. Steelers are 1-10 when he doesn't play. Is that a super stat or a meaningless?
Super duper califragilistic stat right there. TJ is Mr. Everything. He is such a destructive when he's not making the play, he's making the play. And I mean that in all sincerity.
All right, we flip to the NFC. The Packers kind of touched on this a little bit, but they're the youngest team to make the playoffs since the 1974 Buffalo Bills. Is that a super stat or a meaningless number?
That's a super stat. There's going to be some inexperience, and we're going to see it. It might be a player. It might be just a collective mishap. There will be some mental errors that we're going to see. It's the super stat.
Right. Speaking of isotonins, yes, that was the O.J. Simpson-led Bills in 1974. Eagles, Bucks, Tampa. Over the last 3 years, the Eagles are 21-6 with Shane Steichen calling the plays, and 13-11 when it's either Nick Sirianni or first-year OC Brian Johnson. Is that a super stat or a meaningless number?
That's a super stat, bro. That's a super stat. The offense looks different. You can tell it doesn't have the same type of flow, and you can even tell that when the plays are called, the players don't have that same type of confidence when they're leaving the huddle. When you got players looking at the sideline or looking at your quarterback like, is this what we're going with? We're going with this right now and then line up? Like, that's a super stat.
Really? There are a lot of super stats here. All right, finally. Detroit Rock City. Detroit City. Lions looking for their first playoff win since Michael Jackson lost the #1 song in the country, Black and White, to Color Me Bad's All for Love.
I don't know.
I don't know which one you would prefer, but I mean, Color Me Bad hit hard for a bit.
Color Me Bad was fire. I ain't gonna hold you. That right there, color me bad. Is color me bad? I want to sex you up. Is that what?
Color Me Bad, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like
This
that.
one was a little bit more. This one was a little bit more poppy.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Of the love.
This is a super stat, and the Detroit Lions, they've been exercising some demons, and this is the number one stat that everybody in football is watching. I mean, because we all know, stats are like Lil Kim's contract. It's a big deal. Bars. You see what I did there? Big. It's not the deal. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was a little scared when you started with Lil Kim, but I know what you're saying. And also like Matthew Stafford's first game back in Detroit since the now famous deal like that. I didn't want to gloss over that storyline too much because it feels like Goff for Stafford. Like you've played against a former team.
It's Goff. It's Goff versus Stafford. It's the guy that they traded away so the Rams could go win a Super Bowl. It's also Matt Stafford going back to a place that he gave everything to. Let me ask you this, though, and I've talked about this on the show. I know we got to go. Do you think that there's any type of tribute at all to Stafford? Or do you think they're like, nah, we did that already. He played here once. Like, it's time to play football. He's the enemy. It's the playoffs.
That's I think it's the latter. But I also think this is one of the rare, like Detroit cheered for Matt Stafford in the Super Bowl. Like it's one of the rare cases where a guy leaves and there was nothing but like Lions fans didn't chirp him. Oh, they never won a game in Detroit in the playoffs. And then he's going like, it wasn't that. They all kind of gave the tip of the cap, but now they need their win. Like
they need their win.
Yeah, I think
they need their lick back. Yeah, they need their lick back.
I think it's going to be a crazy atmosphere in Detroit.
It's going to be a crazy atmosphere, and whichever quarterback plays well, it's going to be that final. Like, see, this is why we did the trade.
Right. Listen, we had a ton of comments on our last conversation about Lamar Jackson. I would love to address a bunch of those comments. We've run out of time, but keep them coming. And when we do have time, we will definitely address some of, I know the comments can be like a cesspool and you go to your favorite YouTube video of all time and there's someone there going, this sucks. Like, it's like Eddie Murphy from his prime in 82 and someone's like, Eddie Murphy sucks. Like, what?
You're like, what?
But if we could keep the comments nice, I would love to be able to do that, and we could get to a bunch of them because there was a lot of great comments about our Lamar Jackson.
For sure, keep the comments coming, man. We love them, and we're reading them. Like we really do appreciate y'all watching.
Without a doubt. All right, always good talking football with you, Nate Dogg. Enjoy Super Wild Card Weekend. We out like khakis with a cup and a crease.
Oh, hey now, I might bring those back.
Oh, we got that thing again with the thing and the confetti.
I don't even know how I did it. It was just that was crazy.